There's not very many people who consider they've won a Grammy Award, an Academy Award, and an Olympic gold medal. Unfortunately, this guy has won none of those things, but he is the co-record holder for the most kills in a professional Siege map. So today, or tonight, because technically it's 8 p.m. for me and it's 10 a.m. for him, I'm joined by ONIGIRI. Dude, I hardly get the chance to really ever talk to guys from APAC, so thanks a lot for sitting down with me, man.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. Thank you for the invite to the interview.
Yeah, of course, man. Just out of curiosity, you go by ONIGIRI in game. You have sprOnigiri as your official gamer tag, and it's been like that forever. Have we just kind of retired the super part of ONIGIRI, or do you wish that most people actually called you by your full username?
I cannot fit the short term of super, the SPR, in my name because the elevate and onigiri is maximum of the name by Ubisoft.
Oh, actually, I wish I could. Uplay? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, in Uplay, yeah. But yeah, I actually don't mind calling onigiri or sprOnigiri. I mean, onigiri is fine.
Yeah,
for me. Yeah.
Gotcha. First thing we can start with, you've had the nickname APAC's Last Hope for a couple months now, I think for most of last year. And I mean, mostly Elevate, not just you. Not very many APAC teams made it to LAN events from last year. Only 3 APAC teams are actually going to go to the 6th Invitational from this year. So you kind of adopted that username, right? Or that nickname. Is that something that you truly like care for? Do you really think that you and Elevate are actually APAC's Last Hope and you want to like uphold that as a nickname? Or are you kind of less interested in that and you just kind of want to play Siege and win stuff?
For me, I actually don't think that we are actually APAC Last Hope. Oh wait, my camera is not
it's focusing.
Yeah, and I feel like it's not a pressure, and like let's say that I didn't care that much about the APAC Last Hope. I just want to focus my thing, like my competition, and like I don't want any pressure on me, and like I don't want to think that we are the APAC Last Hope, we're gonna perform well and put the pressure on ourselves. Because I feel like our team can perform like really well without a pressure at all. But when it's come to a pressure, then when we're carrying a lot of hope from the Legion, and it's kind of make us kind of perform bad, I guess.
Sure. What's the scene like for Rainbow Six, specifically where you're from? Because I know for a lot of teams in Southeast Asia, for the most part, you kind of have to have a team all from one country or things don't quite work out. And I know that you get the chance to play in like the Operations League outside of just APAC South. So is there a lot of competition where you're from that just doesn't really get seen by a lot of people? Or is Elevate kind of like it in terms of teams that could go to events from Thailand and actually do well?
There's not a lot of tournament in APAC or Thailand.
Yeah,
they're just like the regional league, the operation league, and just APAC. That's it. And even the national league is not that well noticed by the other people or the audience. So yeah, it's kind of okay. Let's be honest. I feel like my legion is half dead now, right now, and like they're killing the APAC after this SI. That's what I heard, but I don't know if it's true or not.
Gotcha. I mean, we're still waiting on details for what that looks like, right? But yeah, I'm sure for you guys, because you had the ping fiascos for APAC playoffs that you've had to deal with, and a few other things. I mean, that I'm sure make it hard to compete down there, right? Yeah.
Yeah, we play on 150 ping in official match for qualify for the major. Yeah, and it's not a big deal when you play that for like nearly a whole year for that. I mean, yeah, for a year with 150 ping, and
right.
I'm used to it now.
But I'm sure it's a really big adjustment when you play at LAN and all of a sudden it's at 0. But then for 150 ping, were you still technically playing on that for stage 3, or did it get any better at all?
No, it's consistently 150 ping for the whole year for us.
Great. Well,
but I feel like it's a benefit for me or like for the team. But I know, but this is just my feeling. I feel like when you play in the worst condition, like 150 ping, 200 ping, or something like that, you will perform better. Like you will have a unique movement.
Yeah.
From that ping, and when you come to LAN, and you maybe hit different.
So you think it's a bit of a hidden buff, kind of, that you have to play in those conditions, yeah?
Yes, yeah.
Do you think that had anything to do with why you were able to drop 27 kills against Rogue at SI?
The 27 kills game is not. I mean, we haven't played that high ping. Yeah, I didn't play that high ping before the 27 kills game, and it's just a normal game. And like,
Yeah.
Okay, let's say I'm not proud of that 27 kill. Like, even like for the whole year, I'm not bragging that, oh, I'm the 27 kill record holder or something like that for the SI. Yeah, I'm not proud of that because, like, if I mean, it's a record, but that's mean your team cannot perform in that international level, So I'm not
Sure.
I'm not very proud of that. Yeah, because it's a siege. It's play as a team, and I'm not proud of that. I never bragging about my kills record.
I guess like for you and your teammates, you'd rather everyone like compete as a unit as opposed to it just being you, like going across the map and getting all of those kills, right? But is it not even the slightest little cool thing to you that you were able to get that, or are you really just focused on making sure that your team can do well and it's not really about like the record for you?
Okay, the things in my head by the moment that by the match against Rogue, like the only thing in my head is that how to keep my team alive, how to keep winning the round for the team. I haven't checked the scoreboard. I haven't checked my kill by during the time. Yeah, I just thinking about how to make a team go further than this. That's it.
How many kills do you think somebody could get in a single map of Siege? Like if it goes like the full 15 rounds, like you go all the way to overtime match point, do you think that just getting over 25 is already kind of pushing the boundary for how many kills you might be able to get? Or do you think maybe sometime down the road somebody could get like 30?
I think it's possible. Like, okay, let's say when I have a burnout from scrims, like, yeah, for the past few months, from screen from the SI, I rewatched the match against Rogue that I got a kill record.
Yeah.
And and I see my like mistake that, I mean, if I do something like that, I could get more kills in more than 27, something like that. Yeah, I think it's possible to get more than 27 kills in single match. If like my individual play, and I feel like if I like push further or like walk more than that, I could get more kills.
That was I think probably the thing most people remembered Elevate for was the fact that somebody had tied the kill record. It knocked Rogue out of the tournament because I think people were expecting Rogue to go a little bit further, right? But that was like, was that your first LAN? Like the first time you'd ever?
Yeah, it's my first LAN.
Yeah, so like you hadn't even gone to, like, when you were with Xavier, there wasn't like an APAC playoffs or anything to go to. That was the first time you'd ever gone to a LAN event.
Yeah.
How crazy was that for your first ever event to literally be the world championship of the game you play?
It's great. I mean, I have no word to describe the feeling. Like, okay, it's my first LAN. I dropped a 27 kill. I have a kill record, and it's more than I thought it would be before we fly to that SI. Yeah, but
at the time, it put a lot of more, like way more people understood who Elevate was, because that record pops up. A lot more people are like, whoa, we should pay attention to this team. And you kept that going because when you're in stage one, you'd still do really good in APAC South. I think this was after you made those two other roster changes. I think that was when Mark and Mr. Punch came in for that stage, right? And then you do well enough in APAC playoffs in spite of the ping craziness, and you do qualify for Charlotte. But then at that point, that's when I think you were the one who tweeted saying, we have visa problems. The embassy's not letting us go. We actually can't go. What was it like in that moment after you've qualified for something to learn, oh wait, this thing that we've actually like worked for isn't going to be something that happens for us? What was it like hearing that?
So yeah, we tried so hard for that USA visa for Charlotte. If I remember correctly, like Justin paid $10,000 for like shorter the queue for the US embassy just to get denied.
Wow.
For Thailand, because like if you not pay for that queue, and it's gonna take like 5 months for us to get a visa.
Dude, that's a crazy amount of money for that.
Yeah, and like we paid 10K, and 3 days before the Charlotte major start, we know that we got rejected by the US embassy, and it's 3 days left, and we say, okay, never mind, fuck it, just move on, because it's three days left. You cannot do anything. Just move on and focus on the next stage and things. Yeah.
You were able to bounce back in stage 2, and you could do way better. But how did you keep yourselves in it mentally after you hear that? You know that you can't go anymore. How did you make sure that that wasn't like such a really big piece of devastating news that you could actually like keep going after that?
I mean, let's say that we have a mindset that shit happens, and like if it happens, you cannot unfix it. And I mean, if it hasn't, you cannot fix it, and we just move on. Yeah, we are pretty good at moving on things, and like the APAC ping, we like complaining in the team chat or team speak that, oh my god, the ping is so horrible, something like that. And yeah, we just move on. We get used to it, and we're not complaining anymore.
Gotcha. Well, I think if I remember right, your group at Charlotte, it would have been an interesting one if you had been able to go. This was Oxygen back when LaXIng was still on the team. It was Team 1 with Lagonis, and it was Direwolves. And you've played Direwolves God knows how many times over the past couple of years, like online and in scrims, I'm sure, right? Do you think you would have been able to get out of that group and go to playoffs if you and Team 1 had actually been able to go? Like, do you think you would have been able to get out?
By the time of our performance on stage 1, I think we can make it out of group. Yeah, because we have a Cinderella run for the playoff.
Yeah.
For the major, yeah. We went to lower bracket and slapped everyone. So I think we have a good chance to get out of that group from the Charlotte major. And
well, you made up for it in Berlin because you did way better there. I think you were second in stage 1, but you were first in stage 2, and then you didn't have APAC playoffs to worry about. And then you go to Berlin and you go undefeated for your first 4 games in groups. Like, nobody saw that coming. Everyone thought Astralis was going to do way better, but no, you come out and you win your first 4, like out of nowhere. And then for those last 2 games, you just kind of weren't there. Maybe you wanted to be at the Five Guys down the street more than you actually wanted to play or something, because I think it was like 3 rounds combined over those last 2 games or whatever it was. Was it like a conscious decision on day 3 to not take those last 2 games as seriously because you had already made playoffs, or did it just seem like that was what was going on and you actually you did try your hardest there?
Okay, so I never tell anyone about this before. Like everyone assuming that we're saving strat for the playoff.
Yeah,
but we actually got rolled over by those teams for the third play day.
Oh, so they actually were just better. Okay.
Yeah, we tried so hard, like, and we're like, fuck, they just crack our strats in one day, and like, oh my god, we fucked. But yeah, we qualified for the playoff, but we tried our best. We didn't expect that Eminem and Fury are gonna 7-0, 7-1 us, and yeah, that's the truth.
A lot of people were wondering if that was what was happening, and like some people thought it made sense, right? Because you knew you qualified, right? But you still got playoffs. I'm sure it must have felt great to get that 4-game win streak under your belt, but then you have to go play a best of 3, and you played W7M, and I remember it because Jesse and I were on the analyst desk for that game, and like especially on Border, when it went to overtime, you were just a couple rounds away, you were like this close to winning that thing. And you had like the whole crowd backing you because Berlin wants to see Elevate, go to the next round, right? Do you ever look back at that game and it give you nightmares, or you think about, oh, what could have been because we were so close to winning? Or does that same shit happens mantra kind of apply there? And it's like, you know what? It's okay because we still made playoffs. Where does that game rank in your head? How do you think about it today?
It's kind of a mixed feeling. Like, we rewatched that game so many times, and yeah, like you said, shit happens, and but on the other side, we feel like, okay, it's good because we made a new roster, we made to the major, and we made it to the playoff, and we get on the stage, and I don't know that. Yeah, we kind of sloppy. I know that because we throw a lot of round that we have a man advantage, and yeah, that's kind of our fault. We know that, and it's a common elevate L, I guess.
Sure.
We say that it's not a great run because we made it to the playoff. Yeah.
You got to stand on stage in front of an audience for the first time.
Yeah.
Was that
in my life?
Right, seriously. Was that like the single most nerve-wracking thing you've ever had to do? I know some players hate having to be on stage and be in front of people, but I also know some people love it. Did you love it? Or were you kind of somewhere in the middle? Were you really nervous about it? How did it feel that like to see everybody in front of you as you were playing it?
I have to say I love it because we don't have that much of LAN tournament in Thailand, and when you get to see fans wearing your jersey, your team jersey, and like coming to you and ask you for a picture or your autograph, and it feel like it's the best feeling for me. I don't know what the other player thinks about this, but yeah, I love my fans, and they are the one that's cheering me and keep me motivated to play the game. Hey, people that coming to me just for autograph, and I say, "You want a picture?"
You were giving them the option. No, that's really sweet,
Yeah.
man. That's awesome. But you can mostly look back at Berlin, and it's mostly good memories, as opposed to oh man, we went out early.
Yeah, it's a best memory because I get to take a lot of picture with the fans, and I get a lot to talk to new people. Like the one that on Twitter, and like I'm wondering who is this guy looks like in real life, and I was he's kind of handsome.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean for sure. So, well, things got a little bit different for you in stage 3, mostly because LaXIng jumps in as a head coach, which I didn't see coming because I didn't know where LaXIng was going to go after Oxygen. But from your perspective, what's it like working with him, of all people, suddenly as your head coach after Berlin?
Okay, this is just my opinion about LaXIng.
Yeah.
He very motivated about coaching. Even he's very new to this role. He was a player for like his whole career. I respect him, and he did a lot of work for Elevate, like stress wise and mentality wise. He gave us a new vision or a new way to play Siege, like something that we cannot see, like some K trick or some play that we can do, or a rush strats and the pocket strats that we use and throw it away. Yeah, something like that. He very adaptive, and we're trying to adapt to him, but it's sadly that he left the team.
Yeah, was he only technically supposed to be there for that one stage, and like you guys knew, hey, it was just like a one-time thing, or did you think maybe he would still be like with you guys behind you when you went to SI?
From my memory, is like LaXIng supposed to sign as a content creator, but he offered his time to us because he said that, oh, my schedule is kind of free. I can step in and help our team with the things that we need, or fill in something that the old coach that cannot provide for us, something like that. And he did great in that short period of time.
Was it weird having him be a whole ocean away and having to like watch games from afar, or was it kind of the same experience that you've had with coaches in the past? It just happened to be with somebody different.
Okay, I don't want to blame the old coach, but let's say he kind of useless.
Okay.
Just my opinion. Don't take it seriously. That's just my opinion, and I feel like Okay. And LaXIng really like I said, he very motivated, and he very passionate about coaching Elevate team. He wake up at 3 or 4 a.m. his time to watch our gameplay at the APAC.
Yeah,
and he stay until he stay up until the match end, and he give a feedback and say what we need to do, and he analyzed the whole game at 4 a.m. He's supposed to be in bed, so I respect him.
I was always curious how that experiment was going to work, because he said it himself. He was super new to the role. He hadn't really done it before. But in stage 3, a lot more people are starting to wonder, what can he do as a coach, and will Elevate look any different? And you did look different, but because you didn't win nearly as many games in APAC South in stage 3. I don't want to say that was because of LaXIng, but did you think that there was some really big change in stage 3 that made it not go so well? Was it every other team getting way better and you didn't quite expect that, or did something not click in stage 3 as well as you would have liked?
There are so many factors that in stage 3 that didn't go our ways. Like 2 of our players have their personal problem. Like DCH has to go to university, and it's 70 kilometers away from the team house, and he cannot stay in the team house. And Sapper has his personal things to do with, and I feel like the big factor of stage 3 is the team house. When you're at the team house, even you lose the match, you sit around and talk to each other, and you can see how your teammate face expression is. And you can talk to each other. But when it's come to stage 3, when we're not in the team house, it's like, oh, we lose a game, everyone say it's okay, we're gonna bounce back, and they just disconnect from the team speak. You cannot see what your teammate expression is like, or how they feel by the time. You're not gonna talk what you have in your mind. So you just keep it by yourself, something like that. But I think team house has a big impact for us.
Are you guys going to be taking more time to prep in the team house going into SI? Is that something that you've been doing?
We haven't played at the team house for stage 3, and now we're not playing at the team house for the SI prep too, but we perform very well in Scrim. Even we're not in the team house, and I feel like we are good at adapting, and that's a great thing to see when you're not at the team house and you can perform well with scrims.
No, I'm sure that is a great thing. Yeah. And hey, you've got another tournament right around the corner, and hopefully you'll be able to conjure some of that magic back up from Berlin and from SI from before. It's got to feel nicer this time that you know that you're locked in, right? Because I think I saw the Infian tweet from just this morning talking about how your visas are all locked in, you're 100% confirmed, you're absolutely going to end up going. How long did it take you to get to Stockholm? Do you remember how long that flight was?
Yeah, I think it's 8 hours of flight to Thailand to Stockholm, I guess.
That's not bad, but
it's not that bad.
When you're flying, you'll probably fly the other way, so you probably fly across the Pacific to get to Canada, right? So
yeah, it's 24-hour flight.
No, really?
Yeah. So
dude,
8-hour flight to Doha and 14 hours or 16 hours to Canada. 16
hours on one plane. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. I know, right?
No. Oh, dude. Well, hey, if you're able to survive that plane, how well do you think Elevate is actually going to do? Collectively, how prepared do you think that you are for this? Even if you're not prepping in the team house this time, are you confident that scrims are going positively in the direction that you want it to? Do you think you can really go that far?
Yeah, I'm impressed with our scrim performance, and we've been prepared a lot for this SI. Back in Berlin, we still have a map that we have to ban because we didn't that strong. But this SI, we've been practicing the map that we are weak on, and we kind of ready for every map pool. We don't have a map that we need to ban.
Okay.
We are ready to fight any team on any maps. Yeah.
All right, man. Well, hey, good luck, especially with that flight, because once you're able to survive that, then you'll be able to go in groups and smash it. Well, dude, thank you very much for taking some time.
I have to survive the flight, and I have to get used to the jet lag.
Yeah, please tell me you're actually gonna. Please tell me you'll show up with enough time to actually get used to jet lag before you start playing, like 3 or 4 days in advance or something like that.
I'll adjust my sleep schedule to make it fit for the Canada.
Well, good. Awesome. Dude, thanks a lot for talking to me about SI stuff, dude. Hopefully I'll see you in Montreal.
Thank you. See you in SI.
Yeah!